Hi there! I'm a digital nomad with a lot of experience in slow, long-term travels. My husband and I have packed up our lives and moved to different countries and cities 9 times in the past 4 years. We've stayed for anywhere from 2 to 6 months or even a year at a time. And to prepare for such a long travels, I always have to pack everything and be ready for anything. So everyone says I'm a control freak, but instead of fighting it, I decided to embrace it. And today, as I'm packing for our trip to Paris, I want to share my mistakes and tips on how to prepare and pack for such long travels without over-controlling it. Before I book accommodation, I always look into the neighborhoods of the city where I'm going. I don't want a luxury hotel or apartment if it's in an unsafe area or too far from the city center. We don't have a car and we usually don't rent one, so we want to be able to get out and explore the city center right away without wasting time with public transport. I usually start with googling something like central neighborhoods in Paris or best neighborhoods in Paris and read a few articles about them, and then I use Google Maps to browse images of the streets, checking out the vibes, how wide the streets are, what kind of people live there, is there any good coffee or brunch places, well, all the things that are important to me. When I'm booking something, I want to be sure that the website I'm using is legit and trustworthy. For me, it's usually Airbnb or Rarely Booking. I've made a mistake a few times of booking something without reviews and it ended up being a bad experience, so now I only book accommodations that has reviews. So I'd rather pay more to stress less. Once I sorted out my accommodation, there comes the most fun part for me, which is researching nice and interesting places I can visit. I know that a lot of people hate it, they want to have no expectations, no plan and just go with the flow, but it's just not me. If I did that, I'd probably end up spending hours at the hotel searching for a place to go and then regretting I didn't prepare earlier and wasted time. So if you're a control freak like me, don't make this mistake more than once. If you're enjoying planning your trip, just do it. My favorite way to explore some places is to just open Google Maps, zoom in closer and click everywhere, saving places I like to list. I create lists for food places, where I want to go and interesting places to check out on the way. And later I also add places I randomly see in the internet to this list. So when I arrive, I just can open my map and go wherever something interesting is nearby. The trick is not planning every day or creating an itinerary, but having a map of all the options and choosing based on my current mood and location. That's what I call having everything under control without over-controlling it. Next tip I learned practically and it turned out to be crucial for long trips. So we'll be staying in Paris for at least a month, which is longer than a casual vacation where the only thing you think of about is your itinerary. For longer trips, you also should think about chores, everyday life and work. So to avoid a crazy stress upon arrival, I create a list in Google Maps called services and I research the neighborhood for good supermarkets, pharmacies, laundry if needed, veterinarians, 24/7 hospitals, bakeries, household or convenience stores and co-working spaces. So I think my Paris map is ready and the trip is in a few days. I'm of course so excited, and usually when I'm that excited I tend to forget a lot of important things before we depart. I've learned my lesson from past mistakes of not creating a checklist. So a few weeks or even a month before the trip I start a checklist and I add to it whenever I remember something. It's a lifesaver to prevent forgetting anything crucial. Also, a very good tip to avoid feeling overwhelmed is to book all your appointments for the week of your departure in advance and put them in a calendar. Knowing your exact departure date allows you to schedule everything weeks before, freeing your mind from worrying about them until the calendar reminds you. Easy! So finally it's time for packing. When packing for really long trips, I've definitely made mistakes along the way, but overall I'm not a big fan of the minimalist travel style, travel with just a carry-on and stuff, because obviously I have to have everything under control. This time I'm packing for 2 months, August and September, and we're going to the northern cities, which means I kinda have to pack 2 seasons and prepare for plenty of rain. Plus we have an old dog who requires comfort and a lot of medications, so given all that, let's see if I can fit everything in these 2 suitcases. By the way, I've always seen those nice packing cubes, but never bought them. I've managed to travel just as fine using just what I have, and that's okay. But I really wish to have them one day, so drop in the comments some suggestions which brand do you like the most. Meanwhile, I'm going to form 4 bunches here: common one, mine, my hubby's, and Charlie's. Well, I think I forgot to tell you that I will be packing for 2 days and our trip is in 4 days from now, because I've learned my lesson and I never ever want to pack in 1 day before the trip again. So yeah, so far looking good. This is our common pile, and some clothes I already packed into vacuum bag. This is our warm clothes in case of colder weather, and some shower stuff. And also we always take our swimsuits with us because, like, who knows what happens. This is my pile, this is husband's pile, and this is our child's pile. Yeah, as I mentioned, our dog requires comfort, so we have to fit this gigantic bed in there somehow. But yeah, just in case you're wondering what we will take for the dog, is just giant pile of the meds here. This is also meds that goes in here, like some cleansers for the ears, shampoo, the sweater because he's old and he's getting cold very often, this towel, other appliances, kitchen scales because I have to measure his food because he has really sensitive stomach, and some food of course for the first few days because we have to order the new bunch, so I always take like 3 or 4. Some goodies, his scissors, his personal scissors. Make sure that you don't forget to brush your dog's teeth because you don't want to have surgery when he will be 10 and lost almost all his teeth. So yeah, brush his teeth. I also have a few tips, aka I wish I knew sooner things. First of all, I wish I'd started using these vacuum bags sooner. I knew about them before, but somehow never used them in my previous trips. Maybe because I didn't realize that you could use a pump instead of vacuum cleaner. I found a small electric pump in the internet, but the reviews were controversial, so I took this manual pump and it turned out so great. Next, I only realized the importance of these things on a later trips, but it's such a lifesaver. I'm talking about sewing kit, and there's also should be a measuring line, multi-tool, the tape, and instant glue. Yeah, this may sound weird, but it really helps in case you break something in the hotel or in the apartment and you have to fix it, or you're just traveling a really long time and settle down in one place for a long time and you want to hang some beautiful lights on the wall or something like that, so the tape is always helpful. And dry tissues, which are probably even more handy than wet wipes. Also, I learned to pack less medicines. I used to take everything that I have just in case, but ended up throwing expired and unused meds. So basically all you need to pack is meds that you would need right now, like painkillers, patches, something to stop diarrhea, bloating, cramps or other stomach problems, and usually it's in one thing, which is super convenient. Also, I take paracetamol, which helps with inflammation in the body, and yeah, basically that's it. And now my medicine bag is even less than this cube. Next one, when you are going away for over a month, you can skip a workout, and I don't like the idea of buying a new yoga mat in every city or going to a local gym. I don't know, I don't like them. So I thought, why not take this kind of a beach blanket? I don't really need anything soft underneath, just something clean, so I will take this and see how it goes. And by the way, also doubles as a picnic blanket. I don't really know why I didn't pack the laundry bag before. This is so good to have for the clothes that can fall apart in the monster machine. And as I said before, the swimsuits is always nice to have. I learned to take it everywhere I'm going, even if it's winter or I don't know, it's just a few days. I always find myself in the situation where I need the swimsuit and I didn't plan it, so I always now take it with me. Well, I was worried, but looks pretty good actually. I thought it would take much more space. So far, looks very good, considering that this is a giant dog bed, like this and this. The mattress is vacuumed really well. This is 2 pillows, which is also really nice. Not bad for 2 pillows, right? This is a game changer. I also wanted to vacuum this stuff because like random clothes, but I think I will keep it that way because it happened that we also should move out from our apartment. So we're not only going for vacation, for travels. We live in this apartment and we'll store all our stuff at a friend's house. And last week I have ordered 5 more vacuum bags to pack the rest of all our stuff, and unfortunately the delivery was delayed and we're leaving tomorrow, so we have only 1 left, and I think I will use it better for other stuff that we have because just look at this. All of this stuff, all of it should fit in here. I really hope that it will work because like I have no other option. So the problem is here that these old bags not working anymore. As you see, they have a lot of air. So I have to replace them, and as I said, I only have 1, and I think I would try to put here all of our coats and jackets, like all the massive clothes, and see what happens. So as you may guess, there's gonna be an apartment hunting in Barcelona in a few months, so subscribe to the channel to not miss it. But for now, wish me a nice trip and see you in Paris!